Good morning. Welcome to the UU Church of the South Hills, also known as Sunnyhill. We're delighted that you could join us for this service today. Our mission here at Sunnyhill is to create a more just and compassionate community within and beyond our walls. My name is Krista Stanley, and I serve as a worship associate for this congregation. If you're a newcomer or a visitor to our congregation, please go to sunnyhill.org and click on the button that says New to Sunnyhill to receive more information about our congregation and to receive our weekly email newsletter. Also, if you'd like to be greeted as a newcomer after the service today, please take a red mug and members will seek you out to be sure that you are warmly welcomed. And if you're joining us online today, please say hello or good morning in the comments on Facebook or YouTube so that we can extend a warm welcome to you as well. We welcome children of all ages to our service. For quiet play, we do have a children's area here in the sanctuary. For louder activities, we have a nursery just outside the corner entrance to the sanctuary, and we also have a comfort room, which is accessible through the back hallway, from which you can hear and see the service. Just a gentle reminder to everyone, please silence your cell phones and other electronic devices so that we can enjoy the service uninterrupted by buzzing or ringing. Today's sermon is titled, "The Flaming Chalice." The image of a flaming chalice has been the primary symbol of Unitarianism since the 1940s. This service will explore the meaning and history of this symbol, especially as it relates to the larger mission of Unitarian Universalism in the world. Our opening words were written by Daniel Cantor. To love life is to notice the wonders that abound. And to notice the wonders that abound is to be grounded here and now. And to be grounded here and now is the beginning of finding love for this life today. Let us ground ourselves in this instant, in the worship of all things good and right. Please join me in saying the words for lighting our chalice. We light our flaming chalice to illuminate the world we seek. In the search for truth, may we be just. In the search for justice, may we be loving. And in loving, may we find peace.
Good morning. Please rise and bow to your spirit to join in singing our opening hymn, This Is It.
This is it, this is it, this is the place you want to be. This is it, this is it, this is the place you want to be. Don't wait until tomorrow to let yourself be free. This is it, this is the place you want to be. This is it, this is it, this is the song you want to sing. This is it, this is it, this is the song you want to sing. Don't wait until tomorrow to let your voices ring. This is it, this is the song you want to sing. This is it, this is it, this is the love you want to feel. This is it, this is it, this is the love you want to feel. Don't wait until tomorrow to let your love be real. This is it, this is the love you want to feel. This is it, this is it, the world is calling out to you. This is it, this is it, the world is calling out to you. Don't wait until tomorrow for what you came to do. This is it, the world is calling out to you. This is it, this is it, this is the place you want to be. This is it, this is it, this is the place you want to be. Don't wait until tomorrow to let yourself be free. This is it, this is the place you want to be.
This is it.
This is it,
This is the place you want to be. One more time.
this is it, this is the place you want to be.
Yeah, thank you. Please be seated.
Good morning, friends. It is now our time for all ages. If there are any kids present that want to come up, now is your chance. Good morning, friends. There are so many Unitarians, Universalists, and Unitarian Universalists in the history of our faith who were revolutionary thinkers and doers. I'm going to tell you about a couple of them today. First, there was Frances Ellen Watkins Harper, and this is what she looked like. She was one of the first African American women to publish a book in the United States, and she was only 20 years old when she did it. She ended up becoming a powerful public speaker, abolitionist, and advocate for women's rights. While she remained connected to her AME church, she also joined the first Unitarian church in Philadelphia in 1870. She felt at home in our liberal religious tradition and believed deeply in our commitment to build a better world for all. She carried the flame of justice forward. Next, we have Joseph Jordan, and this is what he looked like. See that over there? Joseph Jordan was the first African-American Universalist minister. He lived around the same time as Frances Ellen Watkins Harper, and both spent time in Philadelphia, but there's no evidence that they actually knew each other. Joseph wasn't always a Universalist, but when he heard the good news of love and freedom, a fire was lit within him. He founded the First Universalist Church of Norfolk, built the pulpit with his own 2 hands, and then opened a day school for African American children. On Sundays, he preached. On weekdays, he taught. He carried the flame of transformation forward. And finally, there was Whitney Young, and here's Whitney Young here. And this is a much newer picture, if you notice. He was a civil rights leader and a social worker who became the executive director of the National Urban League. Under his leadership, the organization grew into a national force connecting Black Americans with jobs, housing, and lots of opportunities. He was also a member of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta. Whitney Young carried the flame of equity forward. Each of these powerful figures was rooted in faith and driven by purpose. They believed in creating a world with open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands, just like all of us here today. They carried the flame forward. Now it's our turn. When we are rooted in faith and driven by purpose, we can carry the flame forward. And with that, we will head to our RE classes. Let's sing the kiddos out.
As you
Go, may joy surround you as you go. Go in peace. Know our love is with you always as you go. As you go. As you go. May joy surround you as you go. Go in peace. Know our love is with you always as you go. As you go. It's been a long time coming that I had to say. When I wake up in the morning, all I do is pray for some guidance and protection on the streets today, and an answer to the questions I ask every day. Tell me, why do the birds that used to fly here? Tell me, why do they come to die here? And all the kids that used to run here, tell me, why do they load their guns here? I remember in the days when we were one heart, no need to defend. I just wrap my arms around you. Don't give up, this song is for you. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's try to hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. From the tops of the buildings to the streets below, from the Wall Street banks to the empty homes, between the lines of the people standing all in a row, there's a crack in the gutter where a flower grows, reminding me that nothing is impossible, reminding me that everything is possible. You gotta live for the one that you love, you know. You gotta love for the life that you live, you know. Singing, hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. And hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. I hold on, try to hold on. I hold on, hold on, hold on. Until the morning comes again, I will remain with you, my friend, and we will ride until the sun goes to the place where it begun, and we will live to laugh and cry another day. Don't let nobody ever tell you that it couldn't be done. Don't let nobody ever tell you that we couldn't be one. Don't let nobody ever tell you that it shouldn't be sung. Don't let nobody ever tell you you're the only one. Singing, hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. Sing it with us. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. One more time. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. This is a time in our service when we share joys and sorrows that have been submitted by members of the congregation. After each joy or sorrow that I read, please respond by saying, "We hold you in our hearts." A sorrow from Bethany Thornton. About 3 hours into his summer vacation, Finn Thornton broke his arm during a highly competitive wiffle ball game. The poor guy will now be missing both of his scout trips this summer, canoeing in the boundary waters of Minnesota and sailing in the Virgin Islands, both of which he spent the last 15 months preparing for. For Finn and the Thornton family, we hold you in our hearts. Joy from Joe Shaughnessy, just to give some context. Joe Shaughnessy, a member of our congregation who's helping with sound this morning, is also the president of the UU Pittsburgh cluster of congregations and helped organize the participation of UUs in Pittsburgh Pride last weekend. Joe says, "In my humble opinion, Pittsburgh Pride is always a lot of fun. We got to meet some folks who are new to Pittsburgh and to promote our congregations. Also met up with the Ginger Hill UU folks and some Morgantown, West Virginia UU stopped by. Much thanks to Don Mangle, Jim Cimararo, Dan Naden, Jonathan Murray, Geneva and Claire Poland for helping with the parade and tent. And a huge thank you to all the UUs who marched and/or attended the events. To all who were involved with Pittsburgh Pride, we hold you in our hearts." As we sing our musical meditation, we invite anyone who feels moved to do so to come forward, light a candle, place it in the sand, and then return to your seats. Breathe in, breathe out.
Please join me in the spirit of meditation or prayer. Let us take a moment simply to breathe together in this place of welcoming, to breathe together in this place of warmth and caring, to breathe together in this place of compassion, to breathe together, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in peace, breathing out love. Continuing to breathe together as we pause for a moment of silence. In all the moments of our lives, moments of fear and distress, moments of joy and celebration, moments of grief and sorrow, moments of healing and wholeness, in all the moments of our lives, may we breathe in peace, may we breathe out love, and may it ever be so. Amen. Today I will be exploring the meaning and history of the primary symbol of Unitarian Universalism, the flaming chalice. This history, which begins, in this case, in the 1930s and 40s, is extremely relevant and offers lessons to us with regard to our own era and our own challenges. In 1938, Hitler threatened to launch an all-out war on Europe unless Germany was allowed to annex the Sudetenland, a territory near the borderland in Czechoslovakia, which was home to many ethnically German people. Representatives of a number of European nations capitulated to Hitler's demands in the Munich Agreement of 1939. In what became known as a doctrine of appeasement, the hope was that a world war could be avoided and peace in some form maintained. A great many people around the world were shocked by the Munich Agreement, thinking, as it turns out, rightfully so, that Hitler had no intention of stopping in the Sudetenland, and that this agreement only lent credibility to the Nazis and aided them in their pursuit of world conquest. Among those who were shocked and outraged were a great many Unitarians in the United States. The Unitarian Church, as you may know, had a number of close ties with Eastern Europe and with Czechoslovakia in particular. We regularly have a flower celebration service here at Sunnyhill in which we commemorate the lives and the work of Norbert and Maja Čapek, Czech immigrants to the United States who founded the Unitarian Church in Prague. So there was a good deal of familiarity among Unitarians with the plight of the Czech people and a great deal of concern about what was to happen to the Jews and the religious and political dissidents of that country once the Germans came rolling in. They knew that there would be tremendous suffering among these people, and they wanted to do something to help. And so it was that the American Unitarian Association formed the Commission for Service in Czechoslovakia and chose to send the Reverend Waitstill Sharp, a young minister serving the Unitarian congregation in Wellesley, Massachusetts, and his wife Martha, a social worker, to Europe to assist refugees fleeing Nazi persecution. By the way, Ken Burns produced a PBS documentary in 2016 titled Defying the Nazis, The Sharps' War, which tells more of this story. The Sharps arrived in Europe in early 1939 and set to work immediately, establishing a network of volunteers across the continent who would help refugees and later the Sharps themselves escape into unoccupied Europe and the United States. Facing immense bureaucratic obstacles at every juncture, they did the work of registering refugees, bringing applicants to the attention of embassies, finding the scholarships or employment necessary for emigration, securing releases from prison, and arranging travel to safer destinations. They saved the lives of thousands of people. Although the Sharps were eventually driven out of Czechoslovakia, the work they started continued, and a number of other Unitarians became involved, including Robert and Elizabeth Dexter and Charles Joy. The work of these 5 individuals, the Sharps, the Dexters, and Joy, led to the establishment of the Unitarian Service Committee, which continues its work to this day. So much of the Service Committee's work with refugees had to do with having the right papers to give people to ensure their safe passage. There was a certain arbitrariness with which refugees' papers were scrutinized by border guards and other authorities and deemed acceptable or not. In many cases, whether your papers were accepted or not was really a matter of life and death. The Service Committee found that they were in need of a symbol to put on their paperwork, to give it an air of authority. In the words of Reverend Charles Joy, who was the head of the Service Committee in those years, they needed something to put on their documents to make them look official, to give dignity and importance to them, and at the same time to symbolize the spirit of our work. Joy said, "When a document may keep a man out of jail, give him standing with governments and police, it is important that it look important." Reverend Joy spoke with artist and Austrian refugee Hans Deutsch about the need for such a symbol, and Deutsch, who had been very impressed with the work of the Unitarian Service Committee in Europe, drew a chalice with a flame rising from it. Joy described it in this way: a chalice with a flame, the kind of chalice which the Greeks and Romans put on their altars. The holy oil burning in it is a symbol of helpfulness and sacrifice. This was in the mind of the artist, Joy said. The fact, however, that it remotely suggests a cross was not in his mind, but to me, this also has its merit. We do not limit our work to Christians. Indeed, at the present moment, this was in the 30s and 40s, our work is 9/10 for the Jews. Yet we do stem from the Christian tradition, and the cross does symbolize Christianity and its central theme of sacrificial love. Hans Deutsch himself was neither Christian nor Unitarian, but he expressed his admiration for the work of the Unitarians in the following words. He said, "There is something that urges me to tell you how much I admire your utter self-denial and readiness to serve, to sacrifice all your time, your health, your well-being, to help, help, help. I am not," Deutsch continued, "what you may exactly call a believer. But if your kind of life is the profession of your faith, as it is, I feel sure, then religion, ceasing to be magic, becomes confession to practical philosophy, and what is more, to active, really useful social work. And this religion, with or without a heading, is one to which even a godless fellow like myself can say wholeheartedly, yes." The flaming chalice quickly became the official symbol of the Service Committee and could be found on its letterhead and other official documents of that era. Another item of interest regarding Hans Deutsch is that he was gay and a regular contributor to a Swiss journal called Der Kreis, or The Circle, which was published from 1943 to 1967. Der Kreis was the first and only openly gay journal of its time. The magazine promoted not only the legal and social rights of gay people, but also their social and ethical duties. Although it had never had more than 2,000 subscribers, this journal was extraordinarily influential and helped transform the movement for gay rights and the recognition of gay culture. As I said, Hans Deutsch, the creator of the Unitarian Service Committee logo, was a regular contributor to Der Kreis, so perhaps it's no coincidence that the journal's logo was so similar in design. When you have a good idea, sometimes you just keep running with it. Again, a flaming chalice, in this case representing an enlightened view of gay rights and gay culture, and a connection that goes back to the ancient world. So from its earliest days, our flaming chalice symbol has been deeply interconnected with both anti-fascism and with gay rights. Another element of the flaming chalice design has to do with a group of Universalist seminarians in the 1940s and 50s who called themselves the Humiliati, or humble ones. They were committed to a renewal of Universalism as a denomination that was no longer exclusively Christian, but still retained its Christian history and many of its practices. The group took as its symbol the circle with an off-center cross. The circle symbolized the all-embracing inclusiveness of Universalism, while the off-center cross represented the tradition's Christian roots, while acknowledging that Christianity may not be the central feature of all Universalists' faith. It was a way of visually demonstrating that there was room in the circle for more than one all-dominant theology. After the consolidation of Unitarianism and Universalism in 1961, a new symbol came into being, one that combined elements of the Unitarian Service Committee's logo with the symbol of Universalism as expressed by the Humiliati. The new logo looked something like this: two non-concentric circles containing an off-center chalice that is, again, similar in shape to a cross. Various versions of this symbol were adopted first by UU religious educators and youth before it eventually became the official symbol of the denomination as a whole. Gradually, congregations began buying or making their own chalices to light and extinguish each Sunday, marking the beginning and ending of worship services, as we do here at Sunnyhill with this beautiful chalice that was made by one of our members. By sometime in the 1980s, this practice had become widespread and added as a liturgical element common today among practically all UU congregations. The current logo of the Unitarian Universalist Association retains the chalice symbol, but rather than circles, has two U's, which represent Unitarianism and Universalism, not as closed circles, but more open shapes that represent inclusiveness and a commitment to letting people in rather than keeping them out. So that's the short and very quick version of the history of the flaming chalice, a symbol that was born of the dedication of Unitarians in World War II who were doing what they could to fight fascism and to help those who had been persecuted escape to freedom and start new lives. It's certainly no coincidence that this symbol is rooted in this period of history, which for many Unitarians was a turning point in their faith. One such person was James Luther Adams, perhaps the most influential Unitarian theologian of the 20th century. Adams was in Germany in 1927 as a seminary student, and again in the 1930s after he had completed his education. In 1927, he found himself questioning the rise of the Nazi Party and wondering why the church was not taking a more active role in opposing fascism. When he returned in the 1930s, Adams became more involved in the emerging confessing church movement in Germany, which did actively oppose the Nazis. In Adams' words, "It is extremely difficult to pass over a description of the maelstrom of this whole experience in Germany, an experience that brought a fearful encounter with the police and even a frightening encounter 2 years later with the Gestapo. The ostensible charge made by the Gestapo was that I was violating the law by walking on the street with a deposed Jewish teacher and by visiting a synagogue. The word existential came alive in those hours of bludgeoned questioning and high palpitation." Adams continues, "It is difficult, I say, to suppress giving an account of incidents in connection with the Nazis, the anti-Nazis, and the hidden underlings. It is even more difficult to determine how to compress into a brief statement what all this did for the evolution of my social concern. Let me repeal reticence so far as to say that the experience of Nazism induced a kind of conversion. This conversion experience of James Luther Adams led him to become a social and political organizer and activist. He spent the rest of his life working with and for various freedom and liberation movements and articulated the need for religion to be engaged in real-world events. As he wrote, "A church that does not concern itself with the struggle in history for human decency and justice, a church that does not show concern for the shape of things to come, a church that does not attempt to interpret the signs of the times is not a prophetic church. The prophetic liberal church," Adams said, "is not a church where the prophetic function is assigned merely to the few. The prophetic liberal church is the church in which all members share the common responsibility to foresee the consequences of human behavior, both individual and institutional, with the intention," he said, "of making history in place of being merely pushed around by it." Adams' words are just as challenging today as they were in the 1930s and 40s. He calls us to be religious liberals, not just as an intellectual exercise, but as engaged activists who are organizing to protect and promote freedom for all, to work against fascism in its various incarnations, and to actively make and shape history rather than being trampled by history. The flaming chalice, the primary symbol of Unitarian Universalism, was born of the engaged work of Unitarian and Universalist activists in the World War II era, who were called to fight the Nazis through every available means. I hope and pray that as we face the specter of fascism in our own time, we will respond with the same courage as our religious forebears, who understood the flaming chalice not as a static symbol, but as a living embodiment of our faith and its commitment to bring the light of compassion, truth, and freedom to all. May it be so. Amen.
Please rise again and body your spirit to join in singing our closing hymn, "We Were Made for These Times." This has that call and response. We'll all sing the call together first, and then we'll start bringing in the response. And you can choose which you want to sing.
Don't lose heart. We were made for these times. Don't lose heart. We were made for these times. Don't lose heart. We were made for these times. Show your soul. It shines like gold in these dark times.
Don't lose heart again. Yeah.
Don't lose
Do
heart.
not lose heart.
We were made for these times.
Made for this.
Don't lose
Not lose
heart.
heart.
We were made for these times.
Made for this.
Don't lose heart.
Lose heart.
We were made for these times.
Made for this.
Show your soul. It shines like gold in these dark times. Don't lose hope.
Not lose hope.
We were made for these times.
Made for this.
Don't lose hope.
Not lose hope.
We were made for these times.
Made for this.
Don't lose hope.
Not lose hope.
We were made for these times.
Made for this.
Show your soul. It shines like gold in these dark times. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Not give up.
We were made for these times.
Made for this.
Don't give up.
Not give up.
We were made for these times.
Made for this.
Don't give up.
Not give up.
We were made for these times.
Made for this.
Show your soul. It shines like gold in these dark times. Don't lose heart. One more time. Don't lose heart.
Not lose heart.
We were made for these times.
Made for this.
Don't lose heart.
Not lose heart.
We were made for these times.
Made for this.
Don't lose heart.
Not lose heart.
We were made for these times.
Made for this.
Show your soul. It shines like gold in these dark times.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Our Share the Plate beneficiary for the month of June is the Pittsburgh Equality Center. The Pittsburgh Equality Center serves as a bridge that promotes education, advocacy, social justice for all LGBTQIA people and allies in Western Pennsylvania. You can make a gift online on our website or by text at 412-324-3130. We'll be passing our offering baskets for cash and checks in just a moment. If you're writing a check, please make it out to UUCSH and put Share the Plate in the memo line. Thank you for your generosity. Please join me in saying the words for extinguishing our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
This coming Saturday, June 14th, is our Lebo Pride celebration. The organization is still looking for volunteers. Our Sunnyhill table is fully staffed, but Lebo Pride needs volunteers, so please check out their website or the link in the beat if you're willing to help. The other thing I wanted to point out was that a slide that was in our slideshow at the beginning of the service incorrectly said that the Pride event is happening on the 15th, when in fact it's actually happening on the 14th. So please do not be confused. We'll close with these words: be kind, be brave, be just, be merciful, be hopeful. This is how we keep the chalice flame burning until we are together again to light it anew. Go in peace.